We bring this question to the text. YHWH, reveal the truth about the fourth beast that was altered from the book of Daniel. The lead verse drawn to open this inquiry is verse number 13808. It declares a voice of noise from the city, a voice from the temple, a voice of YHWH that renders recompense to his enemies. This voice from the sanctuary opens the testimony and frames our inquiry into the altered fourth beast. The fourth beast that was altered, that diverse power which seeks to change times and laws and to wear out the saints, stands among those enemies to whom this voice of recompense is directed from the city and the temple. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against YHWH, as verse number 21084 declares with clarity. No altered beast, however strong it may appear for a season, and no horn that rises from it can bring forward any counsel that will stand against the Most High. Any wisdom or understanding of this world is without foundation when set against YHWH. The true testimony exposes every such attempt. False declarations are brought to light. Verse number 14686 records the speaking in the presence of the people claiming that this is what YHWH declares, even that the yoke of the king of Babylon would be broken from the neck of all nations within the space of 2 full years. This is not a word from YHWH. The voice from the temple does not speak of such a quick breaking of yokes. Instead, it declares the recompense that will come in the appointed time to all who stand as enemies. Those who depart far from YHWH after their covenant defiling idols bear their own depravity, as verse number 16626 testifies. The Levites that went astray, when Israel went astray after covenant defiling idols, will bear their depravity. The testimony against covenant violation is recorded in verse number 24324 in the day in which they sold victuals. The abominations that caused the people to commit covenant violation with their covenant defiling idols are set forth in verse number 12225. Such paths lead only to the depravity that must be borne. The testimony turns to preservation for the covenant people. YHWH changes not. Therefore the sons of Jacob are not consumed, as verse number 17944 declares. The one who called them remains the same, and they are preserved. Even when there is uncleanness by reason of a dead body, or when one is in a journey afar off, the Passover is still to be observed to YHWH, as verse number 5459 instructs the children of Israel. The appointed seasons are kept, and the people are preserved through them. The identity and calling of the people are affirmed. They are a great people and have great power, and they will not have one lot only, as verse number 7777 records when Joshua spoke to the house of Joseph, to Ephraim, and to Manasseh. The promise of the land stands for the offspring, as verse number 307 declares when YHWH appeared to Abram and said, to your offspring will I give this land. The inheritance and priesthood converge in strength. Verse number 6637 declares that Levi has no part or priestly inheritance with his kinsmen. YHWH is his covenant inheritance, according as YHWH Elohim promised him. The holy portion of the land will be for the priests, the ministers of the sanctuary, that they may come near to minister to YHWH. It is a place for their houses and a consecrated place for the sanctuary, as verse number 16653 sets forth. The portion of the priests and the Levites is given so that they might be encouraged in the Torah of YHWH, as verse number 25999 records. This is the inheritance that endures. It cannot be taken away by any altered beast that rises for a season. The priests stand firm in their service. Verse number 7400 records that the priests who carried the Ark of the Covenant of YHWH stood firm on dry ground in the middle of the Jordan River, and all the Israelites passed over on dry ground until all the people were passed clean over. This standing firm in the midst of the waters speaks of the endurance that is required when powers arise that seek to alter the order established by YHWH. The consecrated do not move from their appointed place. Here is the endurance and faith of the saints, as verse number 33,996 declares. When the altered fourth beast is at work wearing out the saints and seeking to change the times and laws, the consecrated are called to this endurance and this faith. They hold fast to what has been given. The recompense that comes from the voice of YHWH is certain. Verse number 35:14 declares that the Egyptians will know that I am YHWH when he has obtained honor from Pharaoh, his chariots, and his horsemen. Every enemy power will come to know this through the honor that YHWH obtains. The staff in the hand of YHWH strikes the waters of the river, and the waters are turned to blood, as verse number 3286 declares, so that it may be known that he is YHWH. Out of the smoke come forth locusts into the earth, given license as the scorpions of the earth have license, as verse number 33,908 declares. Sinners who deny the name of YHWH of spirits are driven from the mansions of the elect and dragged off by the punishment which proceeds from YHWH of spirits, as verse number 1962 testifies. When the covenant faithful judgment is revealed to the whole world, all the works of the godless vanish from all the earth, as verse number 2618 declares. Adonai YHWH declares to these bones the word that brings life, as verse number 16,396 speaks. YHWH is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, and abounding in goodness, as verse number 19641 declares. Yet the recompense to enemies is sure in the appointed time. The mathematics of the draw confirm the direction of the testimony. The probability of an affirmative answer stands at 98.5%. The probability of a negative answer is 1.4%, and unresolved is 0.1%. The claim is a strong anomaly, and all gates pass. It leans yes with clear clarity toward covenantal favor for those who hold fast. The convergence on the themes of the temple voice, the true inheritance, and the endurance of the saints reaches discovery level strength at 6.61 standard deviations. The overall departure from chance is extreme, with the threshold crossed in every channel. The directional indicators and the extreme convergence confirm that this is the coherent word spoken to the question brought to the text. Therefore, the truth stands revealed by the text and by the confirming witness of the numbers. The fourth beast that was altered from the book of Daniel is among the enemies to whom YHWH renders recompense with a voice from the city and the temple. There is no wisdom, understanding, or counsel against YHWH that this beast or its power can successfully bring. False declarations that yokes will be quickly broken are not from YHWH. Those who follow covenant-defiling idols bear their depravity. YHWH changes not, and therefore his covenant people are preserved. The true inheritance and priesthood belong to the consecrated, for whom YHWH himself is the portion, and the holy place is set apart for the ministers of the sanctuary. In the face of this beast, the saints are called to endurance and faith. Apocalyptic recompense proceeds with locusts, waters turned to blood, and the driving out of those who deny the name. The works of the godless vanish when covenant-faithful judgment is revealed. The altered fourth beast has no prevailing counsel against YHWH. Its alterations cannot stand before the voice from the temple. The covenant identity, inheritance, and priesthood remain with those who endure in faith. YHWH renders recompense to his enemies and preserves his own. The verses drawn in this Shield 17.9 session were number 13808, number 24,324, number 33,996, number 16,626, number 21,084, number 24,616. This concludes today's interpretation under the Shield Protocol.